And we're focusing on mind-body connection. Whatever area of the body that we're working with, make sure to focus on that part of the body with the mind. Don't be going into what you already need to do this morning, what you have to do, what you've got later today. Go ahead and exit those thoughts from your head and just be right here with us for about 16, 17 minutes. So to start us off, you can get a yoga mat if you want to, but a lot of what we're going to be doing is standing. So, whatever you're comfortable with. If you need something under your feet, put something under your feet. We're going to put the feet directly underneath the hips, toes pointed forward, drop and check. We're going to tuck through the pelvic floor just a little bit. You don't have to fully tuck, just lightly tuck. Bring some looseness into the quads and the knees. You don't have to be standing straight up, pulling your knees back. I want you to be nice and loose and gentle through the legs. And you just gently sway the hips left to right. Waking up the core. Try to move the hips by using the sides. Drop the chin. Take a big inhale. Lift up. And exhale, hold in neutral. Again, start the hips left to right. Pushing into either side of the foot. Letting the weight flow from left to right. Using the core to push the hips left to right. Big inhale. And you're going to come to neutral and exhale. Feel the weight in both feet. Equal weight through each foot. Slightly tucked through the core. Take an inhale, float the arms up above the head. Opening through the chest. Keep the shoulders down as you draw the palms together. If you can't bring the palms together, pull them as much as you can. Staying between right here and right here. Whatever feels good. If you don't want to come all the way together, you feel like the shoulders, the tension, the nerves aren't liking it, then back off, open up. And we're just going to gently pulse, open. So you're expanding the outside of the arms, the outside of the shoulders, dropping the shoulders as you actively pull the arms apart. Now, right now, the palms are facing each other. Next, we're going to flip the palms out. Keep pulling down. Take an inhale. And exhale, hold. This is cactus arms. Elbows are at a 90-degree angle. Flip the palms so that they're facing the front of the room. 90 degrees. Keep the shoulders dropped. Gently drop to the right. Exhale, expand the arms. Inhale, come back to cactus. Bring yourself back up to neutral. Big inhale. Open up the palms to the ceiling. Draw the chest back. Exhale. Inhale back to neutral. And exhale, drop down through the left side. Push the palms out. Elbows 90 degrees. Big inhale. And exhale, expand the arms, lengthen, keep that tilt to the left. Inhale, arms back. Cactus, 90 degrees, lift yourself up. Inhale, arms shoot up. As much as you can bring them together. Shoulders drop down. Exhale, gently dive forward. Now you can drop the knees to release the joints if that feels better for that first forward fold this morning. Taking yourself all the way down. Try to make sure that the hips are equal with the ankles. You want the hips still stacked over the feet. So don't pull back like here, even though if that feels good and you're like, oh, you want to try to stay right here. Try not to come too forward either. Try to stay right here. Now if you want to gently shift left to right, shifting the weight into each hip, that's good. Focus on those hips staying directly above the ankles. Now if you want to gently shift for just a second back and forward, you can do that just to get an extra stretch. But in general, when we're trying to find forward fold and we're trying to balance our hips out and get them out of the rotation that they're in, we need to make sure that we're keeping the hips stacked over the ankles. And then we're going to slightly bend the knees and inhale, roll up, pulling through the back of the heart like somebody's got a puppet string. Pulling up through the back. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. Keep the shoulders down. Exhale, pull out to cactus arms. And then drop down to the sides. Inhale, we're going to ground into the right foot. And lift the left knee up. Holding this right here. Check that right foot. Make sure that it's pointed forward. If the balance isn't there for you this morning, take that left toe and just gently place it on the floor to help you feel that balance. If this feels good, then hold it right here. Now you can keep the knee right here. You can also gently shift the knee over to the right towards midline to get that extra stretch through the outside of the left hip. The right knee, you can keep it straight and lifted, or you can slightly bend into it. If the hip is getting agitated, I recommend to slightly bend that right knee. If you're feeling pretty powerful and lifted, then push into that right foot as if it's rooting down into the ground and lift up through the hip, up through the chest, lifting through that left knee as well, feeling that full extension and that lift. And again, drawing that knee over towards midline if that feels okay for you. You want to get a little different part of the hip stretched. Take that left hand to the left knee. You can hold this right here. That feels good. Or grounding into the right foot. Draw that left knee open. Yogi toes lifted through the bottom of the foot, holding this space right here. Inhale, lift the right arm up, out to the diagonal. If this does not feel good for you, drop that left foot over to the side. You can also bring it to lower tree right here, opening this left hip and opening this right shoulder at the same time. Whatever feels good for you right now. Big inhale. And exhale, bring that knee back. And drop that foot all the way down. Feet underneath the hips, draw that right arm up and over, grab onto the left wrist, or left hand grabs onto the right wrist, or if you're on the other side, opposite. I tend to do the opposites when I'm watching videos. Pulling through that outside of the body, gaze up through the right side. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, you're going to drop that right arm back behind you. Bringing the palm forward, drawing the elbow back. And then gently release the arm, shake it out. You can roll that neck out if it feels good. Find some space. And now we're going to focus on grounding into that left side. Left hip above the left ankle. Left toes forward. Right knee lifts up. Now, like I was saying, if your hips are not feeling good, and you want to slightly bend into that left knee to take that pressure off of the joints, you just kind of sink into the pose, staying lower, still staying lifted, lifting through the pelvic floor as well. Tucked, tucked, tucked. Now, if this feels okay, we're going to lengthen through the left leg. Now, when we push into that left foot, you're going to feel this full lift through the right leg. I want you to feel that extension up through the side of the core, up through the shoulder, lifting, lifting, and also lifting through this right side as well. Drawing the left arm up. Opening that left shoulder. You can gently draw that right knee across midline. So if your hip is pinned out like mine is on this side, you're going to feel that on the outside because you're countering the rotation or the restriction. Holding, holding, holding. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. What we're going to do is grab onto the outside of the right knee and pulling it open. Nice big crack. Holding it right here. If this balance is not good for you, drop that right toe, and you can either hold that leg out, or you can bring it into low tree, feeling that opening through the right hip, as well as opening through the left shoulder, expanding through the front lines. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Very gently bring that right knee back. And exhale, pushing down. Draw the right arm up. Grab onto that left wrist. Inhale, pulling it over. Gazing up to the left. Underneath the arm. Nice big inhale. Holding the inhale another second and exhale. Hold for just another second. Inhale. And exhale, bringing back up to center. Ooh, interlace those fingers. Draw the palms to the sky. If that doesn't feel good, release the fingers and just push. Exhale, pulling the elbows down, dropping into the sides of the ribs. Drop the bottom. Drop into the knees. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale, we're going to drive down into forward fold. Again, bend those knees if you want to take it easy on the joints. Checking the hips to make sure they stay above the ankles as much as you can. Feet hip width apart, nice big inhale, dropping the chest. Exhale, plant the palms, step the right foot back, step the left foot back. Pushing back into the heels, downward dog. All fingers wide, pushed into the floor. Palms push. Pushing out of the shoulders. I like to keep a little space between my heel and the feet, or my heel and the floor, to allow that space for a continual release through the back of the hamstrings. Nice big inhale. Exhale, you can lift that left foot up if you would like to take it in a three-legged dog. Exhale, opening the hip, dropping the left heel. Or if you want to hold it in three-legged dog, whatever feels good for you. Whenever you're ready, let that leg drift down. Dropping it down, inhale, draw the right foot up. Open the right hip, bend the right knee. Nice big inhale. And exhale, you can keep it open or you can draw it in a three-legged dog, whatever feels good. And exhale, taking it down. Taking another inhale, we're going to lift ourselves up and out to plank. In plank, you want to make sure your shoulders are directly above the wrists, fingers are wide, heels over the toes. Exhale, drop down. If chaturanga is there, take chaturanga. If not, push right into cobra. Elbows into the ribs, lift it through the chest. Hold, inhale. Exhale, gently roll yourself down. Inhale, lift up. Lift that left leg up if that's available. Exhale, gently roll down. Inhale up. Raising the right leg. Hold. And exhale, gently roll yourself down. Inhale, push back to child's pose. You can take the knees wide or you can bring the knees in, whatever feels comfortable for you. If child pose is comfortable for you. If child pose is not comfortable for you, feel free to go ahead and bring yourself up. Dropping down, gently onto the hips. Feet kick out in front. Taking just a second. Big inhale, arms sweep. And exhale, forward fold. And seated. Dropping the hands wherever they can. If you want to bring them to the sides of the legs, or if you want to reach for the feet, tops of the toes, whatever feels good for you this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening. One more big inhale. And exhale, drop a little bit further.